Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be taking a look here at an article from CNN. Free press, what's at stake? I love this. And you look at the title of the article. Ban the term fake news. Now this was published on November 27th and is written by Hossein Darakashan and Claire Wardle. And they have this little 2-minute and 45-second clip here at the top of the article, and we're going to go through that, and then we're going to go through this article itself, because it's so funny. They've been beaten down so badly with the term fake news, they actually want to ban it now. I'm sorry, it's mind-blowing. They started this fake news crap with the Hillary Clinton campaign, being in bed with her, them, MSNBC. Go use this term, fake news. They were doing it during the Obama administration before that, too. Anything calling, out, like, say, Operation Fast and Furious or Benghazi. Fake news. But with the election, they expanded it, and it's funny because to them, anything that isn't them, the mainstream media, is pretty much fake news, but yet they want to retire, in their minds, yet they want to retire the title because they've been beaten down with it so badly.
It's time to retire the term fake news. That's what my next guest says. Claire Wardle is the executive director of First Draft. It's a nonprofit research group based at the Harvard Shorenstein Center. Claire, we've talked about this before. I want to share it with our viewers. If we never use the term fake news again, what should we say instead?
So we should think about what we're...
Oh, because, yeah, you see, they tried this, Orwellian 1984 newspeak, labeling shit fake news. It got turned around against them, and now they got to come up with a new Orwellian newspeak term. It's hilarious. So this is a complete propaganda piece here because, oh my God, everyone thinks we're fake news because we are, so we got to retire that term. We got to ban it. We got to get rid of it because it's hurting us. Well, if you actually reported factually, you wouldn't have this problem.
What we're actually talking about. So are we talking about misinformation? They're just mistakes that people make. Are we talking about disinformation when people are actually trying to cause harm and they are disseminating false information? Or are we talking about malinformation, genuine information that's shared again to cause harm? So that could be revenge porn, it could be a leak.
I love how she's making these distinguishing things here, because they're supposedly these different shades of fake news. Because, okay, information that hurts. Okay, and I love how she's going, well, revenge porn. Why don't you just say what you wanted to say? Oh, the DNC and Podesta email leaks? Because to you, that's fake news. So, yeah, I love this propaganda bullshit. This is such a joke.
Email. So we just need to be much more specific about what we're talking about.
And is that because President Trump and others have co-opted the term fake news and basically redefined it?
Well, no. What happened is you tried to label anything that was pro-Trump as fake news. Anything that called out Hillary Clinton as fake news. So what ended up happening is you were telling such blatant lies, you moron, that it was clear that you had become what you were labeling others. So the term got turned around on you, okay? And you're saying, oh, well, it got co-opted. Well, yeah, because you were using it to label people fake news that were legitimate. Now, because, you're not legitimate and it's being used accurately, you're all upset. Poor baby.
So two reasons. Firstly, a lot of this stuff isn't news. And secondly...
Oh, no. Who decides what's news? Is it you? Obviously, you think it's you. You think that CNN and you and all these people should decide what's news. Because you don't like the fact that the alternative media reports on the stuff that you don't want out there. I mean, this is ridiculous propaganda.
It's been co-opted by politicians around the world as a label for things that they don't like, and it's been used...
Oh, no. Trump called you out on the Russia bullshit. Called you flat out. Called you fake news for it. You've been proven to be fake news with this whole Russia collusion thing, with the hacking of the election, with all of it. So why don't we look at the fact of, oh, okay, you claimed Russia actually physically hacked the election, thinking people would be too stupid to realize there are parts of the country where There are paper ballots. There are parts of the country, when they just use those, they use, or they use, say, paper ballots with the optical scantron machines that aren't connected to anything. None of the voting machines are connected to anything. On the note of networking, none of it is. So they couldn't have hacked it. So then you move the goalpost, and then it's like, oh well, it was Russian influence. And then you guys tried to claim that two different organizations that are Russian, Sputnik and RT, because they did reports on Hillary Clinton that were not favorable, were influencing. You want to talk about, and I can go on here. So do you really want to talk about who is fake news? Because so far, CNN and the left and the left mainstream legacy shitbag reporters and press, you've been labeled fake news, rightfully so.
As a weapon against organizations like CNN and others.
It's been used as a weapon. No, it's been right. If it does any damage against them, okay, it's because it's true. Okay, calling them fake news, calling you guys fake news is factual. You are fake. And to call you that is weapon, no, it's stating a matter of fact. If there's damage being done by stating fact, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe if you actually reported on fact, where you forgot what it is, you wouldn't have the problem you do right now.
And so when it's being used as a weapon against the news industry, and it's just being co-opted, we have to think much more carefully about the power of language.
Yeah, we have to. Oh, you were thinking about that when you came up with the term Orwellian. This term of Orwellian newspeak, fake news. Okay, you thought about that. Okay, it's literally like out of the book 1984. You guys created the term to label anything that you didn't want people to see as fake news. And you grouped in those stupid advertising bullshit, like ad things that passed themselves off as news and went, all of that's fake news. And you had like one or two of them in with thousands of legitimate articles. What do you expect to be the fallout when you get caught on that? You're going to get labeled fake news because you're talking out your ass lying, being fake. You're not reporting news, you're fake news.
And it's damaging the industry. The free press is what we stand for. So we have to be much more careful about our language.
Let's look at an example, and you tell me how to define this. This is something President Trump tweeted on Saturday afternoon, or Saturday evening while at Mar-a-Lago. He tweeted a link from a website called MAGA Pill, Make America Great Again Pill, displaying a list of his accomplishments. And he's...
Okay, yeah. Oh, well, look at a list of his accomplishments. All the ones that you've tried to say didn't happen. Okay, yeah. All right. Sure. We can believe that one.
He said here that this is what the media should be reporting. He said he wished the fake news, the media, would report this way. Quote, I wish the fake news would report it. Now, if you look closely at this website and the Twitter feed from MAGA Pill, you'll see conspiracy.
Oh, conspiracy theories. Who's labeling these conspiracy theories? Oh, what is he talking about, the deep state or whatever? I love this. They don't show you any of this, but they're going, oh, just trust us on this. It's labeling conspiracy theories. Oh, you mean like the whole Russia bullshit thing that you're pushing? Because that's a complete fucking conspiracy theory.
Theories and things like this.
It's a flowchart of the swamp. The swamp is an actual known thing. I love this. Oh, conspiracy theory. The swamp is a conspiracy theory. This just goes to show why you're being called fake news. Okay? We know the swamp is real. We know that there's money in politics and there's corruption. We know this. The people aren't stupid, but yet, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. Oh, listen to me. Oh, I'm just a fat, bald little fucker reading a teleprompter here, so just believe me. You stupid fat fuck. Shut the hell up and actually report facts for once these days.
A flow chart suggesting all these conspiracy theories.
No. A flow chart of the actual swamp, where the money's going. It lists how that, like, the swamp is set up with, like, the lobbying and shit like that, and the politicians, and so heaven forbid that gets exposed. So you're going to say this is conspiracy theory, fake news. I love this. Oh my God, next he'll be saying the deep state isn't real.
Website Media even says there's anti-Semitic content on MAGAPill and on
Wow, they're really trying to freaking label this site as a no-no to go to. You know what gets me is they don't realize to some of these people that they're like trying to spoon feed. A few of them are going to go, you know what, maybe I should go check out that site for myself and see if what they're saying is true. They don't realize that people have been waking up so much that they're actually going to go check what these people are claiming here on CNN. And it's ridiculous.
MAGAPill's Twitter feed. So do we call this misinformation, a bunch of kind of confusing, conspiratorial information the president's touting?
Oh, well, wait a minute. No, this is funny. They take this one little thing of like listing how the swamp works, and they go conspiracy theory. Proof, please. Where's your citation? Where's your evidence? I'd like to know where the hell you're coming from on saying that the swamp is a conspiracy theory. We know, the American people know that Washington is corrupt as fuck. This is ridiculous. This is such blatant, propagandistic lying. It's not even funny.
I mean, it's misleading. A lot of these sites are powerful because there's a kernel of truth. Some of that stuff on there is true.
No. It's all true. I love this. She's labeling alternative media right there as, they're labeling it as conspiratorial. They're now labeling it as, like, you know, well, there might be a grain of truth because, yeah, whoever is running the MAGA pill, they're reporting on Trump's accomplishments. So, okay, well, there might be a grain of truth, like the fact, like, say on the note of he's got over 3% GDP, Obama could barely get 1, so Trump tripled GDP in less than a year. You mean like one of those little grains of truth?
Right, when they tout his unemployment rate, that part of the website's accurate.
Absolutely. And what that means...
Did I just see this? CNN had to admit that Trump's unemployment, reporting on that, it's actually factual. They tried for the longest time to say, oh no, he wasn't creating jobs. Now this fat, pudgy, bald fuck had to admit that information is correct. Do you think they would just admit that Russia's a lie and that what Trump has been saying about it being a lie is true at this point? I mean, this is ridiculous.
What it means is people can say, look, it's not false, it's not fake, but actually when you look at it, a lot of it is conspiratorial, a lot of it is demonstrably false.
Whoa, wait a minute. Number one, who's deciding what is false? Number two, I love how they're portraying this as, well, they have this factual stuff over here, but then all of this is conspiratorial. So you can point over to the left, okay, where the facts are, and say, look, so the right must be true. No, that's not how it works. That's not how people look at stuff. They go, at least, say someone like myself and a lot of other people, they at least try to be somewhat informed. Okay, I mean, say someone like Sargon Akkad goes into way more depth, especially when he's making a video on a given subject. But the point is we actually investigate. So to try to say that people are going to be like, well, look over here, this is true, so this must be true. Oh my God, to actually try to pass that off in your smug little British accent, okay, as how people operate, and that's how it's going to work, it goes to show that you guys are desperate. Oh my God.
And so that's the part of the problem here. There's very sophisticated attempts to undermine. And when we use language that isn't sophisticated, we're undermining ourselves by not looking carefully at what's happening and how it's being used to manipulate the media.
I see.
Okay, so because they chose it, what she's getting at is because they chose a term fake news and its language wasn't sophisticated enough, okay, that was their problem. No! It's the fact that you guys are fake news and lie out your asses. and propagandize us because Obama made it so that you guys could legally do that. Okay, and it's not even necessarily the government propagandizes us that they legalized. So you can lie straight to the American people and get away with it. It used to be against the law. And this is a case of you guys lying to the American people and why you are fake freaking news.
See what you're saying. When we paint with a broad brush,
Exactly.
it actually confuses the issue more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you didn't paint with a broad brush in the first place and get it turned back against you, we wouldn't have this problem because you literally labeled anyone that wasn't you guys in the mainstream legacy lame, friggin' lame media that's like dying. If you didn't label anyone who wasn't you as fake news with those broad strokes, you dipshit, you wouldn't be in the boat you're in right now because you know what? The people in the alternative media, they got sick of you labeling the way that they did. The American people going, wait a minute, I've been listening to these people over here for a long time, and their stuff is panned out. And I watch CNN too, and they're now labeling these people fake news. Well, wait a minute. Their stuff pans out and checks out more than CNN's stuff does, and that's where you got into trouble. Because you thought the American people were being spoon-fed and sucking off the teat of your flow of information that you're putting out there, and they're not. And you're still upset about that. And you think that you can actually change that. It's beyond that point.
Claire, great to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks,
we have a podcast with Claire. You can check it out at reliablesources.com. We go into deep.
Anyway, let's get into the article itself here. Now, this is the editor's note. Okay, we're going to read that before we get into the article. Okay, Hossein Darakishan is a writer and researcher for the socio-political impacts of new media technologies who spent 6 years in prison in Iran over his blog. There's no need to put this in here. This is to try to sway people. Well, he was put in Iran, for writing a blog, so he should know about free speech. This is complete propagandization. I apologize. They recently co-authored a report, Information Disorder, commissioned by the Council of Europe. Okay, yeah, Council of Europe. So where they don't have any free speech laws, okay, and the media is controlled. Okay, yeah. Claire Wardell is a research fellow at the Shorenstein Center on Media, Politics, Public Policy, and leads the nonprofit First Draft. The opinions in this article belong to the authors, but yet you are pushing them, CNN. This is freaking hilarious. Well, they're not our opinions, but we're going to put it out there because we really believe they are our opinions, and we don't think that anyone's going to actually believe that they're not our opinions even though we're publishing it. Jesus Christ, you people are stupid at CNN. Excuse me. When we use the term fake news, it's not only self-defeating, it oversimplifies a very complex problem. No, it accurately describes you, so when we use the term fake news, it fits. A year ago, this wasn't the case. The term actually meant something. It described a particular type of website that used the same design templates as professional news websites, but its content was entirely fabricated. Says who? So, when alternative media manages to create a professional-looking website similar to any media organization out there or any business out there or any information provider, you're going to try to say that those professional looking websites were pushing fabricated news. This is hilarious. Just because alternative media has a bunch of tech geeks involved in one way or another that can build better websites than the morons you hire, doesn't give you the right to label them fake news. But earlier this year, the term started to become meaningless. No, it did not start becoming meaningless. It actually is very accurately describing CNN, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, NBC. It's accurately describing all of you fake news pushing legacy media outlets that haven't realized that the reason why you are dying is your own damn faults. This is all on you and no one else. But yet you don't understand that. You don't want to understand it because then you would have to admit that you screwed yourselves. It became used to describe any piece of information that someone else didn't like. No! Oh my God, that's not what it began. Oh God, no. The second, that's what it was started out with in the beginning. Okay, because that's what you guys literally labeled. Any information you did not want people to see. You called it all fake news. You started that. But once it was accurately framed on shitbags like you, oh no, no, it was being used to describe information that someone else didn't like, meaning our information. Well, if your information wasn't lies, wouldn't be a problem. Increasingly, the term has become weaponized by politicians who use it to undermine independent journalism in an effort to reach the public directly through their own channels. A bit of freaking projection there. That's what you freaking shitbags have done to the alternative media. You're the ones who labeled them as fake news. President Trump has been one of the ones promoting the alternative media when he retweets it. You just literally went after alternative media in that video clip. This is hilarious. You projecting shitbags. You seriously are shitbags. Oh my God. It was weaponized against... So wait a minute. CNN is independent media. MSNBC is independent media. ABC, CBS. You're all independent media because you're the ones being labeled fake news. This is hilarious. Oh my God. This is not just a U.S. phenomenon. Research by the Columbia Journalism Review shows that people in 3 other countries increasingly believe that the mainstream media peddles fabricated stories. Yeah, because it does. Okay, what countries were these? If one of them was the UK, when they're pushing this multiculturalism crap and covering up for grooming and rape gangs and shit, and they're going, oh, there's nothing to see here. That's why you guys are having this happen, because you're like, oh, no, there's no rape going on in this part of London. And there's like multiple rapes a day in that one particular neighborhood. You know, double digits even have happened. One girl got raped multiple times just trying to get home. And the UK press was trying to be like, oh, nothing happened. Oh, you know, no big deal. They tried to, they don't want to call, you know, they're not going to accurately report the fact that, oh, it was Muslim rape gangs, a different rape gang that each got her and you know, brutally raped this poor girl. Heaven friggin' forbid. I mean, that would be reporting the facts, and you wonder why people call you fake news. And I'm just saying, if that's the UK, there's your explanation right there. In countries where a free press is a luxury and free speech is not guaranteed, this phrase is being used as an excuse to clamp down on both. Oh my God. No, okay. The only country that truly has a freedom of the press, okay, and free speech, only one that has it guaranteed is the United States of America. And you're right. On the note of clamping down in UK and all over Europe, if you're critical of the EU, you're labeled fake news. Even if you're reporting a mountain of facts. On the note of Sweden, if you're reporting on it being the rape capital of Europe, you're labeled as fake news when that's a matter of fact. Okay? It's like second in the world. It might have even, I don't think it's taken first place yet. But it's damn close. Okay? But it's second in the world for rape. You report that. You're labeled fake news. That's a matter of fact. This is ridiculous. Terminology matters, and it's using, and it's and using it simply because everyone else uses it is no longer good enough. No. What happened, as I've already said, is your Orwellian newspeak got turned against you, and now you're all butthurt about it. So now you got to you're going to try coming up with some new Orwellian newspeak terms, and you're going to hope that they're actually going to stick on what you want them to stick, and they're not going to get turned back around on you. That's the truth of the matter here. I mean, this is friggin' ridiculous. This is friggin' ridiculous. Oh my God. The term is also woefully inadequate for describing the complexity of the situation. No, it fits CNN very well. It fits MSNBC very well. It fits the BBC extremely well. So, no matter how much you say it doesn't, it isn't necessarily going to convince people. When we think about the Facebook post created by Russian accounts during the U.S. election, oh my God, complete propaganda. $100,000 going back, 5 years, whatever the hell it is, before the election, 4 or 5 years, before even thinking about running for the election. Yeah, okay, sure. This is ridiculous. So yeah, when you think about these Russian accounts created during the U.S. election, would you consider them news? Well, considering most of them actually go back to well before the presidential election, and you have a couple that you're like browbeating to death. Well, considering their information has actually been factual, they could be considered news, unlike you. What about the image of a shark swimming up a Texas highway during Hurricane Harvey? That shark was real, but it was not in Houston during that hurricane. That was a meme. Oh my God. Someone creates like a joke. Like type thing. And messes with someone. Oh, that's fake news. You're using something. Oh my God. We live in a time when our information streams are polluted, and there are many different types of information. Translation. We can't control the flow of information. So anything that isn't coming from us is pollution. Admit it. That's what you're saying. They move and shift. Some types are visible. Others are harder to spot. Some we would all agree are problematic. Yeah, problematic. Oh, I don't know why. Because you can't counter it. Because it actually destroys the lies that you're pushing. Because it actually, is stating factual information. I mean, to me, those are the things that we got to look at here. Because when you say problematic, that's a term on the left that usually that's the case. It's something that's truthful that you can't deal with. Manipulated images created during a breaking news event, for example, designed to confuse and hoax. Oh, I love how you're doing that with CNN when they've been known to fake shit since, the first Gulf War, when they were standing on top of the CNN building in Atlanta with a blue screen, claiming that they were under Scud missile attack. Yeah, real good people to be pushing this shit with. And I suggest, if you don't believe me on that one, go look it up. They literally were on the roof of CNN. See, because in those days, people could access the raw feeds from broadcasters. And people were watching CNN off the raw feed and literally recorded them doing this. It's like on YouTube. It's all over the internet. You can find it pretty easily. So these are the last people you really want to be talking about this manipulated images thing. Creating, during breaking news events. I mean, because they literally are faking news. They're faking video footage during the first Gulf War. And they've done it since, and they've been caught. This is hilarious. This is such major projection. It's not even funny. But what about the satirical news websites? What about misleading headlines designed solely to drive traffic? Oh, well, the satirical websites. So they're actually going to try to bring out, the Onion and, oh my God. When you are faker than the Onion, when stuff that you guys report a few years back would have been a headline on the Onion, you shouldn't be implying the Onion with this. Because you make the Onion look legit. We need to rethink our vocabulary. Translation. We need to come up with newspeak. In our recent report, Information Disorder, commissioned by the Council of Europe, okay, a place that really values free speech, and published by Harvard's Shorenstein Center, okay, a total leftist shithole known as Harvard University, that just had a segregated graduation this past spring. You know, because the black people were like, we're triggered, and like, we need our own graduation. I mean, yeah, all right, we're going to trust these sources here. We propose 3 different terms as a way to think and talk about the issue. Oh, types of information disorder. And they had to do the fucking diagram and everything. Misinformation, false connection, misleading content. Who decides this? Disinformation, false context, imposter content, manipulated content, fabricated content. Intent to harm. Malinformation, some leaks, some harassment, some hate speech. Okay. A false connection. Who decides it's a... All right, let's get to misinformation here first. False connection. So, if the alternative media makes a connection, like, say, Benghazi, which it was proven was basically an arms deal gone bad, that they wanted to give ISIS those weapons. Okay, Hillary and Obama. Operation Fast and Furious, okay? Directly linked, you know, that would probably fall under misinformation. Okay, anything that can be linked with a quote-unquote false connection in their eyes and is misleading content. Oh, so like talking about the DNC email leaks would possibly fall under this, okay? Now we go into the disinformation, which I love this how they've got the falseness and the intent to harm. All right? Now, disinformation, false context. Who decides the false context? Imposter content. Who decides it's imposter? Manipulated content. Who decides it's manipulated? Fabricated content. Who decides it's fabricated? Obviously, these people want to decide that. But then you go into the malinformation, you know, and it's funny because they've got this here, and they're like, whoa, these two cross over. And then you go into the intent to harm. And I love under malinformation, some leaks. Doesn't matter if the information is truthful. If it was leaked, it's malinformation, it's intent to harm, it's a bad thing. So what they're trying to do here is be like, well, the Hillary, you know, situation with the DNC, you know, with the whole, you know, DNC email leak and Podesta email, like that was malinformation because it was meant to intend to harm. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. It was intent to harass and some of it was hate speech. Well, first off, as members of the press talking about free speech, you shouldn't be bringing hate speech into it because, you know, that was created literally by the Soviet Union and they got it codified in the UN. So for you to be throwing Soviet, oh my God, we've gone from Orwellian newspeak, like this misinformation, disinformation, malinformation, you know, that type of stuff, to literally taking pages from the Soviet Union's way of silencing dissidents. Holy shit, and you wonder why. Fake. This is why people call you idiots fake news. Misinformation is when there is unintentional mistakes, such as poor use of statistics or quotes, or when an old image resurfaces. For example, when people shared the shark photo mentioned above. Oh, so misinformation. I can think of a perfect example, and you were busted on this, CNN. When you purposely took a picture of the inauguration before people were actually there and claimed that was the max crowd, you got busted for that. So, there, okay, yeah, misinformation, disinformation is when false or manipulated information or imagery is deliberately used to do harm to someone. The Facebook ads created by Russia and targeted at U.S. voters during the presidential election would be an example of this. I love how they throw that in. No. All right. I love this. Oh, well, they're going to try to now equate this shit to the U.S. voters because it didn't work to say, well, the Russians did this to Hillary. So now, oh, well, they went after the U.S. voters. Bullshit. Disinformation. That's disinformation. Because a lot of that stuff was actually well before the election, you know, season. This is friggin' hilarious. And you want to talk about, you know, doing harm to someone. You people lied left, right, and center about Trump. Malinformation is when genuine information is used to cause harm to someone. And I love they use this example, revenge porn, because they really want to say the DNC Podesta email leaks would be considered malinformation. You know, on the inside they're going, that's malinformation. And they're not going against the fact that it's factual. This is hilarious. Rumors, conspiracy theories, and fabricated information are nothing new. As Sun Tzu explained 25 centuries ago, all warfare is based on deception. Right. And you idiots are in a war. You've declared war against the American people and their will. You abroad, okay, when it comes to foreign nations, it's no different. Whatever nation it is, you idiots have declared war against the people there and their will. So I love how you idiots are the ones pulling that statement from Sun Tzu. False information is part of our lives, whether it is individuals lying to save face, prevent hurt feelings, politicians making unrealistic promises during election campaigns, corporations using false claims to damage their competitors, or the media disseminating misleading stories to gain a wider audience. I love that last one. Or the media lying to get a crooked bitch into office, because it didn't gain you a wider audience, it actually killed your audience. However, social media has added an entirely new dimension to the phenomenon. Most significantly, because the power dynamic has changed, now anyone in the world can easily create and disseminate false information, and with the help of bots, organized groups, or targeted ads, it is easy to amplify it. Okay. This one right here is just, this paragraph is just freaking ridiculous. See, they're basically saying, okay, we can't control information. The average Joe can go out there and report on the news. They can do more damage to us than we can do to them because there's so many of them. It's death by 1,000 cuts. So we need to silence them now. So we're going to say that they're lying and they're disseminating false information and they're using bots and organized groups and targeted ads. George Soros used way more bots than the Russians to try to get Hitler elected. Okay, I love the levels of projection here. You idiots have done everything to try to silence the alternative media, and it's not working. So now you've got this new approach, which actually isn't really that new, but you think it is new, of basically trying to portray it this way, and it's not going to work. Given how social media may have made our information consumption a public performance for our audience, it is now even less likely for most people to swim against the tide and challenge each other. In our increasingly lonely lives, who would want to feel lonelier? Oh my God, that's a complete misrepresentation, because here's the thing. The alternative media is people like me that are calling you out. There's a lot of people out there that are doing it. Now, some people that are online that are, you know, disseminating information or part of the skeptic community or whatever, okay, and I can think of 2 examples. I'm only going to name one, okay, but like, the internet's their life. That would be like Jeff Halfwood-Holliday, okay? The internet is that moron's life. So to him, he'll go along with something because he doesn't want to upset people. A good example is when Kraut and T decided to, try to get someone fired not knowing that they didn't get paid, and then when they found out, tried to use that to justify, they weren't getting paid, so it wasn't like I really got them fired. Jeff Holiday defended that because he likes his buddy Kraut and T, and he wants to be able to talk with him, and he's a triggered little bitch, and he's kind of a left thing, and he wants to keep the people happy, that the leftist idiot morons that aren't SJWs that follow him, wants to keep them happy because, he needs that attention. Now, if you have someone like that, that's an example. But the majority of people are not like that. Okay? They really don't care. I don't give a shit if I piss off someone with what I say, because the way I was brought up, if your conscience is clear, who cares? If you didn't do anything wrong, you didn't do anything wrong. So to try to play it like that, it's you people who are lonely because no one's watching you. No one's paying attention to you. Recent revelations about foreign meddling in the U.S. elections have exposed the fact that we're targets in an active information war. What meddling? You haven't proven any. Because, okay, $100,000 on Facebook going back years before the presidential election cycle is not proving anything. This is why you are fake news, CNN. You would publish this crap. Oh, my God. And they coined the information war. All right, Hillary Clinton said we're losing when she was Secretary of State, said we're losing the information war, meaning we can't propagandize, and she even said this. Our hands are tied. We can't propagandize the American people. We're losing the information war. Okay, she's saying this in front of Congress. And I love how that the active information war, they're using the same term she used, the information war. You're losing it. Yeah, because it is an information war. You're trying to sling bullshit as fact, and people are putting fact out there that shows that you're slinging bullshit as fact. You are. You're losing that war, and you know it. Previously, these types of campaigns were fought via sophisticated and expensive communication technologies, such as shortwave radio or transitional satellite television. Oh, transnational satellite television. Oh, so because it became easier. Okay, because when it was back in those days, shortwave radio or transnational satellite, you needed money for the equipment. Now, $50 a month and a cheap computer, and anyone and their mother can start calling you little shitbags out, huh? Is that what you're scared about? Now, significantly less powerful agents can harm large institutions or established individuals with few sources. It's asymmetrical warfare. Translation: one person can destroy one of the elites these days, or a couple, by just calling them out and reporting and having that information disseminated. That's what they're saying there, and that's what they're afraid of. They can't control it now, because it just takes one person in the alternative media to find something on someone. Let's say in their elitist little clique there, whether it's in the media, or Hollywood, or Washington, You notice how this comes out with the fact that the alternative media started reporting on, say Weinstein, okay? And they're bringing up social media with this. So they're like, well, you shouldn't believe social media because, look at these victims, They went to social media and they exposed this. Then the alternative media picked it up first. And then the mainstream media had to report it. And that's what they're not liking about this. There are two new and unique aspects of social media which have changed the game. Firstly, disinformation can be cheaply amplified through committed volunteers, paid agents, or bots. Oh, you mean kind of like all the ones that were used by the DNC and Soros to try to get Hillary elected? Talk about projecting, because you guys were really bad on that one. Secondly, our information sources are becoming increasingly social and therefore much more visual, emotional, and performative. Oh, so what you're getting at is instead of someone verbally or through the written word reporting on, say, Islamic extremism, which isn't going to have the same impact as, say, video. All right, that has a lot less impact than video. So if they use, because of video and that increased impact, you got a problem with it. Because you can't push a narrative when everyone and their mother has a camera on their phone, can go and collect video and edit it and have, under fair use, the ability to create a unique presentation of information and expose, factual information that you don't like. This is what you're getting at. And as trust in institutions decreases, people are turning to their closest networks of family and friends for information. Oh, so because they don't trust the, in bed with the deep state, controlled, fake news, legacy media, and they actually go and look for alternative sources and talk to friends and family to find them, you have a problem with that. That's what your problem is. This has created a perfect environment for the spread of disinformation around the world. Who's to say what is disinformation? Oh, that's right. You people believe that you're the only ones that have the right to say what's fake and what's disinformation. Because you want to be the gatekeepers. Well, guess what? It don't work like that. It does not work like that. There are significant and long-term concerns. Social media has become the most powerful vehicle for politicians around the world to undermine traditional media, thereby damaging the very foundation of the idea of representative democracy. Informed voters. What? Because you guys can't decide which politicians have a voice. Because you can't do that. What you're trying to frame it as is a politician can go around and undermine the traditional media, thereby damaging the very foundation of the idea of representative democracy? How the hell is traditional media even a part of representative democracy? It never was. Because back when the country was founded, you leftist shitbag morons, the press was every Tom, Dick, and Harry that had a printing press. Okay, reporting on the news. It wasn't you friggin' establishment, corporate scumbags. It actually does the opposite of what you're trying to claim. It actually strengthens the representative democracy, because heaven forbid when a politician, because what you're getting at is Trump here, you don't like the fact that Trump can go directly to the people. You want to be able to control what he says getting to the people. You want to be the gatekeepers. And you're scared that if they can get to the people directly, you lose all control and you will die. Well, of course you're going to. This is hilarious. You guys are so pathetic. The combination of social media and television is a hotbed for sensational politicians who benefit from populations polarized by political, economic, religious, racial, or ethnic divisions. Oh my freaking Lord. Where do I start? First off, you control television, you leftist morons. How? Just how? Is that factor even a factor? Huh? Please explain that to me, because I'm not getting that. I mean, the social media is definitely a factor. Because, and I love this, a hotbed for sensational politicians. So, politicians who don't play the game with you little morons, who are blunt, in your face, typical New Yorker. When they're like that, and they can actually go out there and speak, you got a problem with it. And you're trying to say, well, this whole thing of polarized by political, economic, religious, and racial or ethnic divisions would be the fault of like them. No, you guys created that environment. Because, okay, let's see, when you're pushing like, oh, there's all this racism, oh, whites are bad, oh, Republicans are evil, oh, if you're not left of Marx, you're a Nazi and a fascist. Okay, if you people weren't pushing this shit and radicalizing those little morons on the left, okay, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in today. So this is all about projection for you. You're literally trying to project your own stuff onto the other side. It's not even funny here. Sophisticated methods, especially the use of micro-targeted advertising via social media, must be considered as a recipe for electoral success around the world. So you honestly think $10,000 going back years prior to the campaigning season actually had an effect on the election, and you're trying to push that here? Actually, you don't believe it. You're just trying to claim it did. Because no one's that fucking stupid. Now, there would be no way you got to where you are today if you were that stupid. So you're just being dishonest. You want to talk about press and free press and all this other crap. But you're not even press. You're propagandists. You're talking out your ass and lying. And you're misrepresenting and projecting. This is friggin' hilarious. So what can be done? The truth is that there are no easy solutions. These trends are the symptoms of significant social and economic shifts globally. Talk about shifting blame. These trends are your own damn fault. It's not social economic shifts that are causing it. It's the fact that people are getting screwed over, yeah. But you're telling them, oh, no, you're not getting fucked up the ass without any Vaseline right now, while they're grabbing on to anything they can, and they're digging their fingernails in, leaving, marks in it, because they're getting anally raped, and it hurts so much to be anally raped. Nothing to see here. Ignore my dick up your ass while we're fucking you. What do you expect? That's your own damn fault. If you weren't fucking people up the ass, you wouldn't be in the situation you're in right now. But ultimately, it is only logic and critical thinking which could save us from the trap of manipulation. You do realize it was logic and critical thinking that led to the fact of Trump winning, correct? Because it wasn't being, because you were trying to play the emotion card, the woman card. You were trying to guilt people. You were trying to make them feel like they were a part of Hillary's election. You were doing everything you could on the note of emotion to try to get her in. So don't try to say like, oh, well, our side is logic and critical thinking. No, it was all feels over reals. I hate to break it to you. Research shows the more educated people are, the less likely they are to be affected by information warfare. No, that's complete bullshit. Just look at the left. All these little college-educated pukes have been indoctrinated. Okay? All these far-left people. This is a complete misrepresentation. No, it's you go to college, you become a dumbed-down, indoctrinated, spoon-fed, love the left, love anything left of Marx, fucking shitbag, it seems. So don't even try to play that one. I mean, I've been to college, and even when I went, it was like that back then. So don't even. And what you're getting at is, oh, well, they're less affected by information warfare. You mean they're less likely to listen to the alternative media and go check it out for themselves. Let's be honest. Technologists, policymakers, and researchers are working hard to find short-term solutions. So yeah, all of these people are looking for short-term solutions to attack free speech while claiming free speech is under attack. Oh my God, this is such propagandist shit. It is coming from CNN, so what would you expect? However, none of these will have a long-term effect if we don't overhaul public education, especially regarding information literacy. I can't believe they just literally ended their article with, we need to overhaul public education so that we can brainwash these little shits so that the only information they get comes from us. That's what you're basically saying there at the end. Now this is beautiful. And I haven't really seen much coverage of this. That's why I did this video. I'm a couple days behind here. It's just been a messed up week. But so I saw this and I figured, I would see, say, Sargon or Dave Cullen or, anyone like that, do something on this. Because this is ridiculous shit that they're trying to push here. And I didn't see anything. So I figured I got a chance. I know it's a few days old, but I'll bang it out first. This really needs to get disseminated. This right here, just to show how scared The left and CNN is. Really, this needs to get wide coverage. So, seriously, if you got this far, please, tweet this, send it to someone. Let people see what CNN is trying to push here, because they need to be called out on this. I mean, this is like, getting up to the point of, say, a Hans asshole Solo type purge. I mean, this is just my gut on this, but they're hoping that if they can get these terms to stick, they can then go after the people that are showing them up. I mean, at least that's how I'm seeing it at this point. Anyway, I think I've covered this well enough, so I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.